Hey y'all, coming to finally do If Loving You Is Wrong review season 2 episode 7. I'm like late. The next episode already done came out, but I was on vacation. I ain't had time to be doing this, and plus I didn't feel good when I got back. So like to hear, here you go. Okay, first we're gonna start back with Randal and Marcy. She trying to get away from him, and he steady trying to tell her, Alex is having my baby, so that surprised her. So she trying to get up out of his grip. He won't let her go. He was like, no, you want to tell me about what you and Brad did? Well, let me tell you about me and Alex. So he started telling her that they was doing this and doing that, and she was screaming his name, and he was doing it harder and pinning her here and pinning her there. And she finally got up out of his grip, slapping. He liked that. He's like, yeah, she did that too. Slap him again. Yeah, she did that too. Slap him again, baby. It was turning him on. He liked that type of shit. And he was like, yeah, she like it rough and tough with the afro puff. Yeah. I'm just playing. Yeah. And he said he grabs her and tells her, I didn't do this to hurt you. And she calmed down a little bit. Sat on the bed. She's in disbelief. And he finally tells her that she really pregnant. She's pregnant, yeah. She tried to say something about him shooting blanks or whatever. Oh, and talking about, well, Alex didn't, have a problem with it. So, that just pissed her off a little bit. And she was talking about a case that he had before when he represented a woman who got mad at her husband, went and got a gun, and came back, shot homeboy in the head and killed him. And she talking about she right where she at. And he was like, basically whatever. You want to use my gun and everything. That was basically it for that one. Then she get up and she start walking downstairs. She was about to try to leave. Then she act like she's about to go over to Alex's house to go start some drama. But he stopped her, and then she got in the car, and that was it. Okay, yeah, the next scene is the kids coming downstairs and see Brad on the couch. The mommy's coming right behind her, Alex. She did that shit on purpose. So the kids can see him on the couch. So the kids wake up Dad, ask him why is he sleeping on the couch. He said he fell asleep on the couch. He meant to go to bed, but he just accidentally went to sleep on the couch. So the boy, Peter, asked him, Dad, why you keep sleeping on the couch? Are you and Mom fighting? He was like, no, we're not fighting. The little girl was like, Dad, you know what I mean? Like, stop lying. We know y'all fighting. So just tell us the truth. So he's like, no, we not fighting. So Alex tries to say, come on, the bus is coming. Let's get ready to go. He was like, I don't want to catch the bus. I want Dad to take me. Dad was like, I can't take you. I got stuff to do. So she ushers the kids off to the doggone school bus because it's sitting outside, I don't know who school bus do that, but they school bus do that. Sitting outside waiting on them. They go to school. She come back in. He was like, why did you do that? She was like, do what? Let me sleep so long. She was like, wait a minute. I ain't got to wake you up. You know how to wake your own damn self up. You came home late. Where the hell was you at? He was like, I know you ain't asking me that. Like, you got a right to ask me where I been. What you been doing, boo? So he was like, well, you did it on purpose. He was like, well, dude, I think, do you think we should tell the kids? She was like, yeah, I think we should tell the kids. He was like, why are you talking to me like that with that smug attitude? She was like, I ain't got no smug attitude. And he steady walking around looking crazy, talking about, you don't give a damn about what me and my brother went through, watching my parents get divorced. She was like, I know, or whatever, she do care or whatever, but she didn't do this, for that or whatever. Which basically that was it. And she was like, she's tired of arguing with him and, him treating her like that, keep on punishing her for the stuff. Like, it's supposed to be over that quick. Girl, come on with the jokes. You got a baby in the oven. Don't nobody know who baby that is. You know that's Randal baby. She know that's Randal baby. He know it too. So she said the doctor ain't told me I should have no stress and this and that about the baby, whatever. So he really like, the baby. You know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever. So we got Lucius and Eddie at the station. And Eddie comes in with some coffees, and there's another officer in there, and he was like, he don't want to be part of this. He left out. So he tried to give Lucius, Lucius, however you say his name, tried to give him a coffee. Lucius was like, no. He was like, oh man, what, you don't drink coffee? He was like, no. He was like, oh, come on, man. He was like, no, I don't drink coffee from you. Because he know what type of a dude Eddie is, and what he would do, what he'll put in there, and how dirty he is. So he gets to telling him, let's just squash. Eddie tells Lucius, let's squash the beef, whatever. And Louis looking at him like, boy, look, I know it don't come that easy from you because you are a dirty cop. So he tries to tell him that, he's a changed man and he ain't gonna do this no more and let me prove it to you and stuff like that. Lucius was like, man, all the stuff you do, you taking stuff, money and drugs from drug dealers and stuff like that. You don't have to be like that. I looked at my check. I looked at your check. I know your wife is loaded. You don't even got to be doing that type of stuff. Why is you doing that? You don't have to do that. And the stuff you did to Randal was dirty. So he's talking about, man, I'm a changed man. Let me prove it to you and all this and that or whatever. So Lucius tells him, oh, man, I don't trust you. Basically, he don't trust him. And what else happened? Oh, so he told him to, get up out of his face, leave him alone or whatever. So he walks out and runs into Esperanza. Here go Esperanza giving him Lucius. I'm talking about Lucius. Giving Lucius some paperwork, telling him, this is the paperwork, whatever. And she always being all nosy, talking about what's that look for? He wasn't even looking at her really. What's that look for? And he was like, oh, nothing. I can handle it, whatever. So next thing you know, he's asked her where the captain at. So he runs, the captain's come around the corner, what a convenience. Come around the corner. Lucius asks the captain, can I talk to you? The captain says, it's not a good time right now. So he going in the office and, Esperanza walk away. Esperanza, let me see. Runs into, Randal. Randal was like, what's up, Esperanza? And Esperanza asking him, what is you doing here? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm taking care of a little business. And that was the end of that. As y'all know, Esperanza always somewhere. So she walks back up, after the little thing with Randal. And the lawyer gets a little glimpse of her and talking about we should interview her because she knows all about Eddie or whatever. So she walks back up because Eddie just talked to Lucius. And Lucius made him look, at the captain's door and see that, his problem is about to blow up in his face. So she's asking him, what is Randal doing here? What's going on? What's the problem? She wants the tea. And he was like, he can handle this and ain't nothing going on. She was like, you a lie. Everybody know he a lie. And so he was like, he loved her and all this. She basically begging him to stop whatever he's doing or whatever, and asking him why do he care about, what's going on with Randal and Brad and him. He was like, that man saved my life in Iraq and everything. And she was like, why does that matter to you? And she was asking him, are you a racist? Homeboy got, offended, like, no, I'm not a racist. Why would you ever ask me that? I don't care what color they are. If they mess with my friends, I'm going to do something about it. And she was like, would you just stop, please? You know what I mean? Stop, boy. And then he was like, you love me, don't you? She was like, yeah, I love the child support. That's what I love about you. So that was the end of that one. The next we got Marcy and Kelly. Marcy is sitting there waiting on Kelly to come around the corner. Kelly come around the corner and she was like looking at her all crazy, and Kelly asking her, what's that look for? She was like, why you didn't tell me? She said, tell you what. She said that Alex is pregnant. She was like, oh my God, I didn't want to tell you. I know that's a sore spot for you because I know how hard it was for you to conceive, so I didn't tell you. It really was no concern of hers anyway, but Jesus. Randal had told homegirl Marcy that was his baby, so she was like, old girl's having her dream or whatever. She was like, what? What are you talking about? She was like, she's having my husband's baby. She was like, no, 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 baby. That ain't true. You know me, who told you that? Randall. He told me that. No, he just trying to tell you that, to mess with you or whatever. It's not his. She was like, well, how do you know? You know what I mean? Kelly's trying to say it's not his. He lying or whatever. So Marcy is like, how do you know? She was like, because I asked her and I believe her. Like a fool. You believe her like a fool. And she was lying over there in the shed, sneaking off while her husband in the bed and everything, to go get to ride on his pony. And you believe everything this wank say. Child, please. So she trying to convince her that it's not true. And that's not the baby. When that baby come out, that baby is going to be brown as hell. Do you hear me? That baby ain't going to have no white features at all. Next, we got the captain sitting down with Randall and the lawyer. I forgot homeboy name, but the lawyer asking about, Eddie, and have he did anything about him? Have you talked to him? Have you talked to his partner? Randall made like that, Lucian was there or whatever. He was like, no, he got other officers that came in to take over the case or whatever. He got something going, so you can't rush. He was like, you know what I mean? It's taking too long and we ain't heard nothing else about it, because they went in there to make a complaint. So as they sitting there, the captain and the lawyer sitting there talking, Randall's looking around. He look at the board, beside the captain's desk and see, the Colombian crime mob family sitting up there, and then next to the Julius, the one that used to go out with Esperanza, and he sees Eddie's picture right next to him. So he's trying to put two and two together, and he asked him about it. He was like, he got something going, stop worrying about it. He was like, oh, okay. So they get up and they leave out. So as they leave out, Randall sees Eddie sitting at the desk, so he goes over to Eddie and he asks him to come to his house. He's like, what you want me to come to your house for? Is it sexual? He was like, is it sexual? He was like, no, I only do that with my neighbors. I only, let my neighbors ride this pony, baby. So he said come over so he can talk to him. So Eddie was like, yeah, he'll come over around 9 o'clock. Around 9 o'clock, he gonna be there. So that was the end of that one. We're at Burger Fast, y'all, with Joey and Fawn. They sit down talking, and she's asking him what he want to be, that he's smart, and he's telling her he appreciates, everything she's done and all this, and they gazing into each other's eyes. And after a while of talking, she kisses him, and then he tells her, it's cameras in here. So homegirl gets up out of there. Next thing you know, here come the thug come up in there, talking about, the person that your mama sleeping with, and they partner done took, $11,000 plus that $3,800 and some drugs and stuff off of him the other day. When they got, hemmed him up, him and his boys up, whatever was harassing him, and he was like, I need to get that back. And if I don't get it back, he gonna hurt the ones closest to you. He was like, don't say nothing about my mama. He's like, I ain't say nothing about your mama. So that was the end of that. Then we get Natalie and we got Lucian at the crib. All the kids is in there on the bed. She looking at houses and stuff. So she tells Lucius about the house, Kelly's house. She can't afford it. The payments is like $1,800. If me and you can do this, making what you making what I'm making, we can pull this off. So he's like, all right. So she starts asking him what's wrong, and he was like, he can handle it. She was like, did you handle what you said you was gonna do? He was like, yeah. She's talking about what he say, with the captain and everything. He said he was too busy. He was like, is it Eddie or whatever, and they trying to figure out. She trying to figure out what's going on because she nosy as hell anyway. So, he said he got it. Let him, he's not shutting her out. Let him do what he got to do. Let a man be a man sometime. You can sit your nosy ass at home. And then she was like, Randall, he was like, he telling her, Randall's up to something. You got to let this stuff play out. She was like, she know Randall's up to something because Esperanza told her. nosy ass heifers. That's their problem. Always being nosy. So she was like, go ahead, go on, take your shower, go on, do what you gotta do. Or whatever. I won't even call about the house. She got an attitude now, y'all. I won't even call about the house. I won't do nothing. So he about to go take a shower. So make sure you lock up your gun. Or whatever. You know, she got a little attitude or whatever. And that was the end of that one. So now we got, Eddie pulls up to Randall's house, you know, to see what he want. And he start asking him, you know what I mean, do you think you can hide behind that badge and treat people how you want to or whatever? And he was like, no. He was like, I seen you at the station today. What did you want? He was like, make a complaint on you or whatever. He was like, it's not smart or whatever. So after a while talking, sitting on the porch looking stupid, they go inside. So after they go inside, Randall is about to go in a drawer and pull out a file. But in the midst of that, Eddie gets scared and was about to pull out his gun. So Randall was like, dang, you're a little snappy, ain't you? A little trigger happy, ain't you? Trying to reach for his gun all fast or whatever, scary berry looking mug. So he pulled out a file. He throws in the file and told him to look at the file. So he pulls out and started looking at the file. And so here go Randall, telling him what he seen at the office today when he was in there with the captain. Then in the midst of that, he telling him, I think your captain is on to you. Him watching you. So you need to watch yourself. So he tells him about what he seen about him and the little Colombian crime mob family up on the wall. And that his picture was right next to it. So he was telling him about a case he did for them and the daughter. In some kind of murder case or something. So he knows them. And then he did a little research and see that the old man's about to die. And that, you know, he happens to find out that him and Julius had some beef. And at one point, Julius got shot by Eddie. And that, you know, the daddy had the beef squashed. But he said soon as his daddy died, he coming for Eddie. He gonna kill that fool. Do you hear me? So he was telling him that he knows all that because they had a little beef over Esperanza. And that, you know, the daddy is on his deathbed. And that Eddie better pray to God that that man stay alive so that homeboy Julius won't come for him. So he gets to laughing and telling him that he want to make a toast to him in his short life. That he ain't even got to worry about dude because he got somebody better that's going to come after him. You know what I mean? And he going to get his for what he been doing. And he told Eddie to get the hell up out of his house. No, he told him, wait a minute, let me read it. Get your simple, pathetic, ratchet ass out my house. Woo, that was If Loving You Is Wrong, Season 2, Episode 7. The Randall Connection. I'll be right back with the next one.